Welcome, everyone. This is Kathy Hunsaker, and I'm pleased to be the host tonight on Real Life Healing in our TLC, Teach, Learn, and Connect Together. Many years ago, when I was sitting in a dentist chair, and I know all of you, that's your favorite place to be, right? Go to the dentist. It's amazing how many people will use the analogy of something that's really horrible that, that's about as bad as going to the dentist. But when I was in the chair, my dentist had a chart on top that I could look at, and I'm going to show that in a minute. But this, if you go to the website that I'm going to show you in just a minute, I hope you can copy it down. It is showing you that this, if you click on one of these teeth, it actually is interactive chart. So I just have the slides to this, and I hope you will take time because it's pretty fun to experience that. I was quite amazed when he said, well, you do know that every one of your teeth is related to an acupuncture meridian, which is related to various organs, tissues, and glands in the body on this particular meridian or energy highway. This connection can often indicate your overall health and wellness by reviewing your dental condition. So we really have to pay attention. Is that true that every one of our teeth is connected to organs, tissues, glands? If a person has a weak internal organ, the condition of the associated meridian tooth could make it considerably more problematic. So look at this really fun chart. Here we've got our glands, our organs, our teeth, and we have our upper jaw and our lower jaw. So let's go back just for a second. Here we've got our upper and our bottom, and our left and our right. Look at the organs that are connected to each tooth. Now, I'm not going to go through all of this, but I'm going to show you slides, and I'll probably go through it fairly quickly. Oh, wait a minute. I want to go back. Did you guys see this website right here? It says, toothbody.com, interactive meridian tooth chart. So I hope you write that down. And if you want this PowerPoint, I'd be more than happy to send it to you. So you'll have all of these slides. So we're going to go through each of these teeth really quick. So here's tooth 1, right over here. It's considered your third molar or your wisdom tooth. So if you don't have wisdom teeth, I'm not really sure what happens to all our organs if we don't have those teeth. But sometimes they'll say when you have a tooth pulled, or if you're having a root canal and they're in there in your nerves, it's almost severing. It's like amputating a part of your body. And I hope that all of us that are older and we have children that have grandchildren, we can teach them how really, really important it is to take care of your teeth. So for instance, this one, if you want to look at the glands that it goes with, the organs, the meridian, even the vertebrae. Think about the vertebrae in our neck and our spinal column. Our joints. Did you know that your toe, your plantar foot, your joint, your hand, your elbow, your shoulder, all are connected to one, number one tooth? And there's so much more information here. Let's kind of go through these quickly. So 2, you can see again the vertebrae, the glands, the organs. Here it is, your anterior knee, your shoulder. So number 3, And we're showing that right here. Your thyroid. So if you're having some thyroid problems, or if that tooth has got problems, I wonder how it's connecting and causing problems for our thyroid and our pituitary. Look at the spinal cord, the vertebrae. How about our sensory, so our sinus? So if you're having a problem with that, maybe you ought to check out and see how your teeth are doing. Your third. So the fourth. How about our large intestine? If we're having a lot of problems there, then let's pay attention. Both sides of the chart, our organs, our tissues, our glands, our vertebrae, and then go to our teeth chart and find out if we're having any problems there. When you're brushing your teeth, if you're seeing some blood coming out, don't ignore that. That is saying maybe you've got some infection going on there, or maybe there's a problem with the rest of your organs, your glands, your tissues, your vertebrae. Tooth number 5, as you're looking through these, pay attention. What about your eye? What about your sinuses? Thyroid. That's number 5. So we're going up along here, up and around. Look how interesting it's going to be when you get to 8 and 9. So here's 6, gallbladder, heart, liver. Again, what about the bladder and right kidney? Your pineal gland. Looks like it might have something with the frontal sinuses. 8. So that's right here in the front. Now let's look at 9. Aren't they just really similar? That's because they're right there close together. Down under where it says other relationships, I thought this was very interesting. Anger, conceptual connections, creative genetic world, depression, emotional disturbances, fear, hormonal balance, impotence, instability, hormonal balance, kidney functions, mental dynamics, moodiness, sadness, sterility, vitality. How about that? And I think that, let's go back and see. Yep, 8's right there with it. So those 2 front teeth, take really good care of those 2 front teeth. You know, when we were little and they used to, and those 2 would fall out, it makes you wonder when they come back if they were a problem when they were baby teeth. So we go clear around to 10. You can kind of see some of those that are going in there. Again, the 11 is your heart, bile ducts, left liver, vertebrae, T9 and T10. Wow, T8. So your sensory is your eyes, hip, knee, foot. Clear around to 12. (13), small intestines, big toe, foot, elbow, shoulder, hand. (16), 17. So here we are going around. Probably can't see it because it's hidden behind here, but we're almost going down to the bottom, the jaw underneath. 19. Look at the joints there, my goodness. Breast, spleen, stomach. Again, here your gland is going to be your thyroid. So read these other relationships when you get a chance. This one, the collagenetic, I think that's the way you say that, collagenetic lateral arthritis, hip to knee, especially noticeable ligaments, cruciate ligaments, dynamics, foot joints, hips, knee, lymph vessels, on and on. To me, I mean, this is just fascinating. This is like saying you find an oil and say, what's the emotional connection to it? Here's our 21, which is right down here. 22. Pancreas. So people that might be prone for diabetes might look at their tooth 22 and consider their pancreas. Because if the pancreas isn't producing insulin and it's become intolerant, what are we eating? 23, your adrenals. A lot of people are wondering that are having problems with adrenals. Down to the very bottom, 24 and 25, it's going to be interesting to see if those two down here are the same as your two top teeth. Let's see, so that's 25. Yep, pretty close. 26. 27. Again, we've got our lungs, our gallbladder, liver, pancreas, foot, knee, hips. The other relationships, amazing. Sorry, this one's kind of blurry. $30. 31. Right lung, right large intestine, appendages, the pineal gland. And you know, the pineal gland regulates your sleep-wake cycle. So consider what's going on with my second molar. Third molar. Toes again, here we go. Shoulder, elbows, blood pressure, cervical spine syndromes, and so on. This one's got a big relationship with it. Of course, that was our wisdom teeth. So emotional effect of teeth to our organs. I don't know if you can see this, but this one is pretty fascinating too. Again, I think it would help so much if you could go to this website where it's interactive and look. So number 6, the emotional was anger, regret, family problems, rejection. And here you've got some, I need to move this so I can see it a little better. Decisiveness, compassion, joy, pride. Let's go down and see some of our others. This one, we all know our reflex points, but do you really pay attention on the top of your feet and the top of your hands, the bottom and both, as those veins run down, those nerves run down your hand and your feet? So that's the end of our slideshow. So I'm going to stop sharing and you can unmute yourselves if you would like to join us. I wanted to tell you some of the things from doTERRA, the products that we should be using. I'm sure all of you have been using the mouthwash. What's one of the ingredients in here that we know, well, all of them are really powerful for our mouth and all of our teeth and gums. But do you know what the one that really makes a lot of difference to me in here? Myrrh. Have you ever read all the information about myrrh and how powerful it is for your mouth and your well-being there? Of course, we probably usually start with our toothpaste. I need to blur that out because you probably didn't see it very well. So there's the toothpaste. Here's the mouthwash. And if you haven't tried it, I really encourage you that these are a must. Now, what about our organs? Anybody have any suggestions of our 5 really good organs? What product? You can unmute yourself if you want. How about Zendocrine? The 5 organs, and these are our cleansing organs. This is our liver, our lungs, our kidneys, our colon, and our skin. This is powerful. Now, do we know the difference between our Zendocrine oil and our Zendocrine supplement? This one also helps with all of those organs, but it really targets the liver, because our liver is our #1 cleansing organ. Everything that goes in there, if it can't get rid of it, it's going to store it and cause all kinds of problems. But we can't forget our PB Assist, right? The double capsulated, that, and I'm sure you've all seen that, but I have to show you because I just love how it looks. So see this little capsule right here? It's double capsulated so that the prebiotic goes into your stomach and it can take care of the microflora there, but it doesn't open up the rest of it until it gets into your intestines or down into the gut. And that's where we really have the majority of our microfibers that feed the brain, all of the transmits up there the information. And if the brain gets the wrong information, well, body, good luck. So I hope that you enjoyed that. I really like learning about all parts of our body and the connection, how important it's intertwined, and that we can't just think, oh, I have a headache today. Where's it coming from? What's going on? So remember, everything is interconnected, and I hope that if you want this PowerPoint, I'll be more than happy to send it to you. But I think you'll get more out of the website and going into the interactive part. So anyone have anything they'd like to share with us?
Kathy, I would like to.
Go ahead, Janet. Please, Janet.
Years ago, it was Dr. Heltzel, and I don't know if that's where your charts came from or not, but he came to my house to borrow some toothpaste from doTERRA for the patients. And that day, or maybe the day before, there's the memory, I had an ultrasound on my right breast because of some cysts. And they said I had busy breasts and there were 8 different cysts, which, by the way, I got rid of with frankincense. But bottom line, he was here and I said, I don't know what's going on, but this tooth right here. Now, I didn't look at the chart today, but I said this tooth, it was a right molar, is really hurting. And he knew nothing about my tests, of course. He's my dentist or my friend. And he said, oh, that's your right breast. And I went, whoa. And I did tell him, I just found out that I just had an ultrasound. And so my tooth was signaling me and telling me something was wrong. So that's amazing to me. That's when I was really convinced of the tooth connection with the
I've had a similar situation like that too. It was thermography. And so they were a thermography exam, and well, 2 things. One was thermography and one was like kind of like bioimpedance, but I literally put my fingers in this machine, not like it wasn't the iTovian, it wasn't, and it scanned your whole body through your fingers. But in both times, they've said something, the gal had seen something in one of my teeth. And then it was related to something in my whichever side, I don't remember, in the breast. And it was interesting. And I hadn't said anything to either of them about any of it. So that is interesting. And what I like is that we brush, our teeth are like, what's going on in our bodies, we might not notice right away, because it's like, we may not, if we don't have pain or discomfort, then might not notice, or a lump or something. But we take care of our teeth every day. So we could be, caring for, like, being proactive. How easy is that? Morning and night, at least, by using our products that we know for oral health, but also myrrh and clove, a lot of other ones, and still supporting many other parts of our body that we don't think about. So yeah, that's cool.
Thank you, Elaine. Thank you, Janet. Anybody else?
I wanted to add something because I remember like Desiree Delaunay was saying that just because an organ is being removed, like if you take your gallbladder out, or like I don't have one of my wisdom tooth, that doesn't mean the brain, that doesn't mean you cannot work on it. So like when we were doing reflexology, you also work with people, maybe they don't have a foot anymore, but mentally the brain knows. And so like she's saying, you put the oils on the meridian, for her, because she's a Chinese acupuncturist, but like you also with reflexology, you try to massage it anyway. And then at that point, I'm saying, well, even if you don't have a gallbladder, then maybe you can use an oil anyway, to help out.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think, though, it is a good thing to think about that there are pathways that are original pathways and we don't want things missing from the pathway, but the brain and the body are very adaptive and can find new routes and new ways. But I like the idea of, even if you don't have a gallbladder, you could still, or however you do it. But I think we dentists back in the day, I don't know so much anymore, but a lot of teeth pulling. And if you think about it, I don't know that I really think that's a great idea. Now that you really think about it, it's like, well, maybe we didn't need to pull the teeth that we pulled.
Yeah, I found it like I'm from Italy and I only got one pulled.
Yeah.
That was like, I was 25. But then when I came here, I started going to the dentist and it's like, well, you don't really need the other three. Do you want to pull them all out? I'm like, no, because if they are still healthy, leave them there. You don't want to touch the sleeves. So
yeah.
And so I was kind of in shock, because it's like, oh yeah, don't worry, we just take them all out. I'm like, why?
Money.
And it's, yeah. Well, that's the same, that's what they want. They want to do with anything. Like, like they find something on your breast, they like, oh yeah, let's just do surgery so you don't have to worry later on. But I'm like, if you don't know what it is, I mean, if it is something bad, of course, but so it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting to think about, because I think it all goes hand in hand, and we can be proactive with the oils, or even address things with the oils and products before we go and like remove body parts. And it is something to really think about. Yeah. So that's good. Thanks, Kathy, for sharing all that.
Thank you. Yeah.
I'm with you though. You don't need to remove all your wisdom teeth. They always, in the States, they try to get you to take all 4 of them out. I had a dentist.
Me too.
Yep. He finally retired and I love him dearly, but he always tried to get me to remove all 4 of them. And I said, I'm good. And I still have them all 4. So
I was born with only 20. I was born with 24 teeth, so I never had them. So I wonder what that does on the scale. I'm missing 4 here and 4 wisdom teeth were ever there.
Huh.
I was going to comment, when I was in my early 20s, I had my wisdom teeth taken out. But the thing that I noticed with dentistry is how many times they want to do root canals.
Oh yeah.
And I'm thinking, if you're doing a root canal, you're killing that tooth anyway, right?
Yes.
So luckily, I luckily have a dentist who doesn't promote that, because I've known other people who've had every time they go, oh, you need a root canal, you need a root canal.
I guess that's why I'm so wacky. Just got a root canal.
Well,
It
you know
all
what's
makes sense.
interesting is when so I've been to several holistic dentists, and as I was talking to two of them, one of them was showing, if you have a tooth pulled and they're going to put replacement in, that sometimes you have to build up the bone
Yeah,
before they
implant.
can put that
Yeah.
an implant. So I
The
was
diaper
talking to
bone.
one of the dentists, and he said, you know how they would take bones from other stuff and they would put it in, and then that would grow more bones so it would be strong enough. The one says that he never does that anymore, and he tries very hard not to pull teeth or do implants. However, when he does, they have a special machine now that actually takes your own blood, separates it. He takes the plasma, injects into your own bone structure, and it reproduces strong bone for yourself. And so I asked him, I says, well, what are teeth made out of? To me, they seem very similar to bones. And when we're babies, we have baby teeth and they fall out. And guess what? We grow more teeth. How come it doesn't do that if we pull them or something else? And do you know, two of them said, actually, they do know how to do that, but they don't do it in the United States.
I have a brother and a sister, each had 6 wisdom teeth. And the dentist said that's as rare as having 6 fingers or 6 toes. And then
How about that?
I have a sister, she's got 2 full sets of teeth inside her mouth. The second set is on the inside and it's much smaller, but she's still got a full second set of teeth in there. It's very strange.
So I'm going to stop the recording right now. So hold on. Thank you so much for joining us in here.